Hello, my name is Carmen. I'm a Twitch VTuber and I'm also a book lover. I read horror, dark fiction, and mystery. As always, I'm open to suggestions, so please post your recommendations in the comments. This week, I participated in Old School April. I saw this posted on Kelsey's Nostalgic Life. The challenge is to read, watch, craft all things from the 80s and 90s. I had to think to myself if I had any books from the 80s on my shelf, and I found this forgotten gem. I had originally read The Girl in the Box by Ouida Sebestyen, I believe in middle school, but I really don't remember anything about it. I knew that I eventually wanted to read it again, but it wasn't in print. Plus, I have always been a sucker for a book with a typewriter on the cover, even to this day. Thanks to the internet, I was able to find a used copy of this book. I posted this book on my April TBR video. This copy was originally a library book and it still has the pocket for the library card. There are a few books that have the title The Girl in the Box. There is also a true crime case involving Colleen Stan, who was a survivor after being held captive for 7 years. This book is completely different from that case. This book was released in 1988 and it is fiction. In this book, Jackie McGee has been abducted by someone in a mask, and she is locked in what seems to be either like a storm shelter or bomb shelter, just a very small underground concrete enclosure. She has very little light except for what's coming through a crack in the door. When she was abducted, she was carrying a typewriter and her backpack. The backpack contains typing paper. Jackie does know how to type by touch, so she's typing notes and she's pushing them through a small opening in the door with hopes that the note will be carried off so someone can find her. Jackie has very little food, she has very little water, so you can see as time goes by, the tension is building. I'm very surprised this book was available in middle school. It is marketed as YA fiction. Subject matter is a little dark for that age group. I do want to make note, for trigger warning's sake, there is no essay in this book. Jackie is worried that's the reason why she's been abducted, but in this book, that does not occur. I have to say, I am glad I picked this book up again. I really didn't remember much from the time I read it before. Jackie has a lot of time to think and dream, and I can see a lot of character development that happens throughout this book. She writes letters to everyone, her parents, teachers, friends. She's looking back at a fight that she had with her best friend prior to the abduction, and you can also tell she's not a selfish person. She is worried about what her disappearance will do for her parents and their relationship. And will this end her marriage? She's seen her other friends have their parents' marriage end. I'm going to read a quote from the book that kind of talks about this. I'm just sad that you've had to worry about me and think the worst and all that. I know how you feel. When I was little, that was always the most terrible fear I had, that you'd go away or get divorced or something would happen to you and I wouldn't have you. I just couldn't bear the idea. So you can see that she's very worried about what's going to happen to her parents as a result of this disappearance. At some point, she's humorous about her abduction. I believe this is probably part of a coping mechanism. You know, she has a lot of time, she's very by herself. So she needs something to occupy her mind. And some of those thoughts that go through her head are very humorous. So I want to read something that explains that. I wish I had read more, so I'd have more things I could take out of my little mental filing cabinet to fill the emptiness with. I've thought about a lot of things here that I never took the time to think about before. Maybe we ought to have compulsory kidnapping. I don't think this is a book I would recommend to someone in middle school, but I think it would be fine for an older young adult, maybe somebody in high school. This is a good pick for someone who's also a horror fan, and most specifically a fan of the horror abduction stories. I gave it 4 stars. I really did enjoy this book, and I'm glad that I picked it up. Thank you so much for watching my pick for Old School April. Coming up next, I was given a ton of upcoming books, advanced reader copies. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to my channel to be notified of upcoming videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.